Evening, folks. I'm Dustin Granger, and I want to talk to you about Ron Paul, who is a senator from Texas. Now, for those of you who don't know this guy, he is a libertarian, although he sometimes does run under a Republican ticket. Now, even though the news media does not talk about him that much, and when they do, they just, especially Fox News, they just bash him like he's some kind of crazy idiot just because he's an isolationist. Like, that's so bad that the United States should not care about what goes on in other countries, even if it doesn't concern us. Yeah, that's such a bad idea. Well, and he's also by far, from what I've seen, the most pro-gun candidate for politician I've ever known. I mean, when you read his writings, he's even in favor of taking the restrictions off fully automatic weapons, so you really can't beat that. And he's also he also wants to repeal some of the taxes that we have, like income tax, land tax, the death tax, all of which are completely illegal and unconstitutional. Now, some people, as far as the income tax, some people try to say that the 16th Amendment, oh well, that made it okay for the government to take part of the working man's income, but actually, when you really study that a little further, you will notice that there is no law that requires you, an employee, to pay income tax, and the 16th Amendment did not give the government an extra taxing power when you actually read it and examine it closely. And Ron Paul has also made a great point in his speeches that the United States does not need to be a world policeman. That's, of course, why he's an isolationist. We don't need to intervene in other countries when it's not necessary. I mean, we just can't afford it. You look at how long we spent in Iraq, and what did we accomplish? I mean, billions of dollars later, they're not a democracy. They never will be. It's like all that time we spent over there, well, at least as far as I can tell, it was pretty much a waste. And this guy would definitely agree with me on that. Now, also, Ron Paul, is definitely in favor of abolishing some of our government agencies like the IRS, which is completely criminal. It was put in illegally from the very inception, and the government, they lied that, oh well, it's just to pay off the war debt, when of course was back in World War II, 1940s, and here it is, what, 70, 71, something like that, years later, and they still want more money. Like, oh yeah, we haven't paid that off yet. Bullshit. Now, you can find this information, or at least some of it, at this website right there. And I just can't help but comment on this, but you notice you can tell when somebody has a bias against someone when they win a presidential straw poll, and Bill O'Reilly comes out and he says Ron Paul doesn't have a chance of winning presidency. Really? He gets 30% of the vote, which is a lot, which was more than what several other candidates got, yet he doesn't have a chance. I mean, what does he hate about this guy? I can't, I don't know. I can't figure that out. I mean, I guess he just can't stand, well, I've noticed on his show, he just can't stand somebody that just doesn't agree with him. Well, you know, when you're a neocon, there's going to be quite a few people that aren't going to agree with you, Bill. So, and I bet he wouldn't like hearing that. Also, I can't say this long enough, loud enough, that it is so important that all of us do what we can to help this country, especially now, with as many problems as we have. Every chance that you have to get out and vote, do it. You know, if you can't contribute to organizations that, you know, you don't have the money to do it, that's fine. I know a lot of you don't out there don't have a lot of money. You can't contribute to other people. Hell, you can't even hardly take care of yourself. So, but you can make YouTube videos to get the word out, and you can vote, and you can make flyers and give them out to people like I have, and sign petitions. Just, you know, I mean, it's either that, or one of these days, you know, if we don't do anything about it, about our problems, if we don't solve them, then what are we going to do when it gets to a point where we got to face this with violence? That's not the way you want to do it. If you can keep from it, that's just, you're at that point, it's just total desperation. But if we just sit back, and then that's what it's going to get to. But thankfully, a lot of American people are beginning to wake up. I'm glad to see that, and I definitely hope that they will wake up even more, because so many things, so many things are just right there in front of you, in your face, and yet you try to tell people about it, and it's like they don't want to believe it. And despite all the evidence, they just don't want to believe that it's real. Don't Because it's too crazy, too frightening, and, well, hell, how can I say this? The globalists are kind of frightening, and at times, and you know, they want to make you feel like you can't stop them, you can't do anything to, you can't beat them, and that's just not. I refuse to believe that. It's not true. United, we do stand. United, we can make a difference. And united, we can keep from being enslaved by these globalists, being put in these FEMA concentration camps that are all over this country. It's sad when you realize that we've our parents and our grandparents have, and even a lot of us, we've let this happen to us. I mean, we've let these people take over. We've paid them to build these FEMA camps and to stockpile these coffins. Our tax dollars have paid for our own demise. But the question is, will we let them do that to us? Or will we support people like Ron Paul who are on our side, who do care about us, and Jesse Ventura and Alex Jones? And as I said in my previous video that I made, every day that you're able to, listen to the Alex Jones Show at www.prisonplanet.com or www.infowars.com, Monday through Friday. The things, I mean, the things that he talks about, the things he presents, it's utterly mind-blowing. And you know, if I honestly, if I wasn't seeing evidence of it, hell, I wouldn't believe it, to be honest with you. But the sad thing is that this stuff really is happening. And also, don't forget, watch Change the Channel's YouTube video called Debunk This. He talks about a lot of issues like the sodium fluoride that has been put in our drinking water. Thankfully, though, some cities are refusing to put it in. They're not doing it like they used to. So, you know, we are having some victories, but it is frustrating. It is, and it does come slow at times. Seems like we take one step forward, we take 5 steps backwards in the wrong direction. And oh, and when you watch the Change the Channels Debunk This, there's a lot of short versions of it. Just take the time, watch the hour and 40-minute long full-length version, and don't, and like I've said before, what I talk about in my videos, don't just accept what I say. Look this stuff up. You know, get to know these people, because these are the folks that can help move mountains, and I mean that literally. And also, remember that our greatest the greatest book that we have, with that has all the answers in it as far as what's right and wrong, and what our future has in store for us, which is very scary in a lot of ways. The Bible, the King James Version of the Bible, is the best book by far, because of the prophecies that are in it, and I mean, and the things that are coming true as each and every day. I mean, it's just amazing.